a little bit and just kind of talking about like heads in general. And I think honestly, just kind of doing these heads in general, it tends to be a bit of a project. Let me move this around. But let me give you a couple of hints, I think, to drawing certain things. And yeah, I think we're gonna learn something together today. So let me zoom out a bit now again. Okay, yeah, booming. So I'm basically working on these series of just general female heads, and obviously this one's a little wonky. I kind of screwed that one up. I think the eye is way too close to the front of the head, but I mean it definitely can work. But a lot of that stuff is, yeah, you know what I mean, is how do you say? A lot of it is kind of putting down lines too quick, too fast, which is, to be honest, a mistake that I do too much. I tend to like rush into things sometimes, and I've been slowing myself down the last few years. As far as like being patient, I think being patient is one of those things that I took many, 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 many years to try to, how do you say, harness that skill. I just couldn't be patient. I don't know why. It was strange. I always had this kind of like mentality of time's running out. I'm getting older. I should be better by now. This piece I'm doing, this drawing I'm doing is right, like needs to be done. I need to get it finished. It needs to be, that's pretty much always been the mentality of kind of like when I started drawing and then some. It was always kind of like, okay, need to get this out of the way. Need to get this done. Need to get this done. And it's funny too because that kind of mentality is what messes you up ultimately, or messed me up a lot, right? Because at that point, you're just kind of like, well, I just want to get this done and over with. I don't really want to enjoy my time here. I don't really want to, um, go in and have a great time. I just want to completely get this out of the way, and so I can move on to the next thing. It was always the next thing that was going to be more enjoyable, right? That's kind of how I used to think about everything. It's always going to be the next project, next project. And I never really sat down and thought about my current project that I was on. And I've noticed, I thought that was an isolated issue with me. I thought that was like only a me issue, but I heard that other people were having that exact issue. I heard that. I don't know if that's true. I hope it is. I mean, I hope it isn't. But I'm saying, like, I hope, other people have kind of discovered how to work on the issues that they have maybe with their patience and not having that patience. But yeah, that's something that tends to tends to kind of linger as well because it's a character flaw, right? At least for me it was. And then I noticed some people who are way more careful and way more patient and way more um, took way more care in like enjoying what they were doing, that those people went on and they kind of got better quicker. And I see that with students all the time too. With students in general, I kind of see this mentality of, hey, let's get this over with kind of thing. Or hey, I got this project and I'm like, oh dang, now I have to do it. So what did I do? To be honest, though, and I get like this even now with the impatience thing, but I would say over time, it just kind of like it just started kind of like fester. I think it was this thing, this is a small shift at a time. At one point, I'm kind of thinking, all right, well, I like, you know, the process of rendering, right? Like pulling little strands here of hair. I like that. I enjoy that. And I kind of focus on that for a while. And you kind of add on to that. You're like, oh, I like this other thing as well. And you start gradually adding these little levers on to what you're doing. Let me see. And the more you add these little levers on, like, oh, I like this, I like this, I like this. And then because either way, you're going to spend the time doing it, you might as well enjoy it. That's kind of what I've discovered. You might as well like what you're doing if you're going to do it anyway, right? And that's the way I said, like, either way, the time's going to go by. And either way, I'm going to spend this time uh, doing this one thing. So I might as well have a good time and like it. And the more I thought that way, the more other little aspects of drawing kind of pop out. And yeah, that's kind of the whole thing to it. Anyways, this will come on super quick. I'm gonna be going live a lot now, so let me know what you think. And yeah, if you have any questions, by the way, I can address them in the next video. I'll be putting up a lot of videos, so we'll talk soon. Okay.